Yo! What up, Thrashers? Real quick lesson for you today. We are doing Avenge Me by Havoc. Again, another redo in my long schedule of redos. However, following the schedule I've said to keep, will be my second redo in a row, which means the next video will be an original. Now, what that will be, I have a few ideas. I have a few suggestions from a while ago, a couple months ago. But again, I'm always open to new suggestions, so comments exist for a reason. Leave your comments, or just tell me you thought the video is shit. Either way, a comment's a comment, a like or a dislike, whatever, lets me know where to go, what to do. Anyway, enough deliberation. Let's get into Avenge Me, rhythm guitar, and again, the leads. Those will be their own videos for all of these. Those come at a later time. Don't worry about it. So, got a little intro single string bit, D string, and you're going to be following these notes with like a tremolo pattern, almost kind of like Rattlehead by Megadeth. It's kind of a similar thing. You're following, going from 12 to 10 to 9, 8, sorry, and then 7, and then 5. Because you're kind of in the, you're in really the key of D Phrygian for this type of deal, but you could also just as easily consider that G minor, but you know, following G minor. Well, actually, no, D minor, and then it switches to D Phrygian, which is kind of weird. Anyway, so you have this open string, and you're going to be tapping along with that pattern there. I'm going to show you one more time really slowly. And then you're going to get into another riff. You have to do that with that open, like so. Pretty simple. Just get this speed going. Okay, done, easy. Now you're switching up the idea from this type of fingering that you ended on to now a Phrygian. So you're in that key. Almost like a Locrian even, if you really think about it. Anywho, so then from there you have this. That's how we're dealing, and they have different little ornaments they do. But the main idea is this type of pattern here where you're doing a little hammer-on and an open while having the muted open D. So that sort of goes like this kind of pattern you got to get good at. And you get it faster and faster as you get the rhythm down. Be able to count that out. 1 Iana, 2 Iana, 3 Iana, 4 Iana with the claps as the different 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, the beats. So after this opening bit, then you have this first little ornament that comes in, which is this little, I like to do it with hammer on, pull off, and then upstroke, and then repeat it across the next pair of strings. Or even just hammers from nowhere with the pinky. And then back to it. You could also, if you want to be slick, slide backwards, or even have your fingers already like this, and do a little legato, like that. That's pretty easy. So that's the first ornament. So it'll go like this. And then you have this ending bit. Pretty simple chords. No problem figuring those out. You should be fine with that. And then again, another different ornament this time. And again, it's sort of the similar kind of thing, but now you're just going straight down 2 times every single time. D string and A string, these kind of little minor shapes here. Or like my method that I like to do with the pull-offs and the upstroke, inside picking kind of thing. And then you're on to the actual main riff that happens for the verse. After this little little pause section they do where you're going from 3 to 6. You know, little jumpy bit, and then they get into the riff again. So again, on the main riff, you're doing the same sort of pattern I showed you. But now you have little different bits in between. These go as follows. where it's sort of a Phrygian dominant in the key of D. And you have this little bit right here. It's all muted. Or maybe first two are muted, first two are open. It really doesn't matter too much when you're doing it at this high of a speed. No one really cares. So these notes here, watch closely. Going backwards like that, right? So it sounds like this. And then the tail end. That pattern goes as follows. Right? And then you jump over down a fret in the next pair of strings. It's a little tritone. Right? And then back for the ending bit in the minor shape. So if it were just single notes and not power chords, it'd be like that. But it's power chords, so you have to move them around pretty dang quick. And the picking, you can do whatever you want, alternates or just pure downs, whatever you want to do. All right. So after this fact, it's just the pretty same. You repeat that twice, and then you're going to switch into the, I guess you would call it the chorus, which kind of goes something like this. That's the riff you're looking at, or pre-chorus, I guess. So that's interesting. Again, I told you you're sort of flirting with G minor, which is what you're doing here. So you have a sort of, you're always hanging out on the G for your muted chugs, and it's going to go with a chug, right? So you have your fifth, and then you're going to get your chugs in on the G, right? You're doing a little triplet, and then you're going down to the tritone from the 5, right? And then you're going back to just your typical tremolo chugs. And then you're going to climb up on the low E string with this minor shape, and then bar over to the flat 6 with your pinky, and then it repeats when you backtrack to the 5. So like this. Right? And now they have a different tail end where it goes. And all that is a minor climb, and then imagine like blues scale, and then back to the pinky and the G. So slowly, front to back with all that, here it is. You should be able to repeat that at a high speed, no problem. Okay, now on to the next riff. What's this one? So, you have this little kind of really cool, I don't know what the hell you'd call it, like a funky kind of, right, that kind of evilish sounding thing, and then some gallops. So I'm going to show you what that is. You're still chilling out with the exact same notes we use in the other pattern. You're starting with 2 hits on the G note, low E, this power chord. And now you're doing root, flat 3, right, like that with mutes. And then 5, flat 5, aka blues note, tritone, whatever you want to call it. And you're doing it a second time, but now you're going to play the power chord and gallops on this tritone note, right? So da diddlin 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 diddlin, and then really quickly open mute once, and then first fret twice, and then you're back up to the G again, where you're going to repeat the pattern like this. And then after that, you jump back into the verse riff one more time. You've already done this before. Easy peasy. Then there's this I don't know, this really fast riff section that happens before the solo, where you have this really quick. It's a bastard. So it's all power chords, but for the sake of simplicity and not burning myself out, I'm going to show you with single notes the pattern you're working with. So it has this. So again, you're following all the same notes that you were doing the whole time for the riff in the key. So you just have these power chords that you have to move very quickly. Get very good at this movement. Going from the D and G string power chord here on 4 back to the A and D string power chord on 5. Get very good at that, because it's the whole thing going up to it and then back and then up all the way like that, you know. You do that a whole bunch. And then you're going to do a bunch of these like that. 5 to 6, 6 to 5 on the A and D string here. And then 3-5 to restart you. So like this. And it's a mother. It's pretty bad. So you're going to have to get good at doing this sort of turn your brain off alternate picky, or be James Hetfield incarnate. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. And then after that, they go into the solo, again, for another day. But the solo riff is sort of like it changes key. So you're on the 1st fret, A string, and you're doing this sort of pattern. Right? So you're going 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 3, with a bunch of muted chugs after every open. Right? And you do that twice, and then they change it to this. So now you're in F sharp, and I think this is just single notes, and you have to kind of like black metal, death metal, full tremolo, switch across strings. You're going to the 5th, as in interval-wise, not fret-wise. That's fret number 4. And fret number 3, after dipping back to this note here. So. And then to close it off, you're going all the way up to, what is this now? Fret 8 on the A string. It's power chord and doing this pattern here. And then again, they tease us with that, and then they go into the pre-chorus and chorus riffs again to finish the song. And that's it, you're completely done. So if you were able to do that all successfully, you now know all the riffs that are in Avenge Me. Now just put them together in order. Bada bing, bada boom, you got it. Bob's your uncle. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right? Cool. That's it. So, very simple video, very short. Again, redoing all these to make them shorter so I can go in depth on the leads later and make those a bit more consistent and easier to understand without feeling rushed and making 40-minute long videos that nobody wants to sit through. So I hope this one was helpful to you. Listen to metal, play metal, be metal. Keep loving Gama Bomb, except for their later stuff. It sucks. Take a pick. I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe, comment, like, all that garbage. Peace.